Hi, Dr. Pulsifer here to talk about game design as a way of thinking and behaving, but probably not like what many of you think. And the usual caveat that these slides are wordy for the benefit of those with impaired hearing or for whom English is a second language. I expect people will listen to it rather than watch it. Now, I don't normally quote from my book, Game Design, but I am going to here because there's no point in reinventing the wheel. So, game design, a combination of problem solving and creativity used to create the framework, structure, and mechanics of games. In video games, game design also involves a great deal of communication with the people who actually make the software. Making and marketing the game is not part of game design, though very important to the success of a commercial game. Game design has little to do with the visual arts and nothing to do with computer programming. A game designer conceives the framework for a series of interesting challenges in the form of a game, devises mechanics, rules, creates or helps create a working prototype, and repetitively and incrementally modifies the design in the light of playtesting until it is a good game for the target audience. Game designers use a form of the scientific method. As they playtest and modify their games, they analyze what is not working well, hypothesize what might fix the problem, and then experiment through further play to see if their hypothesis is correct. Their control, in the scientific method in this case, is how the game worked without the changes. So that's what game design is. Now, what is it not? It's not about getting ideas. This is a common delusion. Ideas are a dime a dozen. Anybody can get ideas, or almost anybody. One person said ideas are like fingers. Almost everyone has them, but the difference from one person to another is like the difference in fingerprints. Moreover, with virtually no exceptions, no one pays you for game ideas. Publishers pay for complete games. And of course, that's what consumers want, is complete games. So it's not all about creativity. Again from the book, novice game designers often have a confused idea that game design is all about creativity, which is very far from the truth. Creativity might amount to 10% of the whole. Now, sometimes this surprises people who have not actually designed games, but an awful lot of designing a game is perspiration, work. It may be enjoyable work, but it's still work. Now, I like often to look at how things work amongst authors of novels, as comparing that with game design, especially tabletop game design. The most important thing in either one is to complete the work. If you don't complete the work, whether it's a novel or a game, you're not going to get anywhere. Matt Forbeck, who has created many games and also written many novels, had trouble getting any assignment to write a novel until he had actually written a novel and could put it in front of somebody's face and say, yes, I have written a novel. Then they were willing to assign novels to him, but not before. You get a lot more respect when you can show complete works. Professional behavior is required of a game designer if they want to get published or even self-published. You have to keep in mind you are not God's gift to the world. You are not an artiste gracing the world with your genius. You're not some brilliant dude who's terrifically original. You're not any of those things. You're an entertainer or educator who's trying to make other people's lives better in some way. You can't be an egotistical SOB if you want to succeed, because people don't want to deal with egotistical SOBs. No prima donnas. So game design is both thinking, critical thinking, and doing, and it's also behaving in a professional way. Thanks for listening.